Hey! Welcome to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. My name is Tom.
Hi, Tom.
I'm a fantasy sports addict. It is high noon on the West Coast. Today, I am joined by fellow addict Cubby Knoll, my buddy James. Hello, Cubby.
Hey, hello.
And of course, Andrew from Fantasy Aid at Fantasy Aid 1 on Twitter.
Heyo.
Heyo. And of course, Cubby, you write on our website. You write for potentially another website. We'll talk about that in a minute. Andrew, you are a writer for Six Man Rotation. And I don't write because I'm illiterate. But I am a fantasy sports addict. And I make YouTube videos. And that's what we're here to talk about today, among other things. We're going to talk about YouTube videos. We're going to talk about YouTube itself. But before I go any further, I put out a video last night. You'll have to go look for it. It's in response. It's my reaction. And, of course, Andrew from Fantasy Aid also has a reaction to the new YouTube partnership program. And you're probably wondering, what's that? It's about the ad revenue. Please watch it. Please check it out. Please read up on it. But those of you who have since subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would like to thank you. I would like to give special shout-outs to the following people. Now, bear with me. Patrick Ryan, Rich L, Carter Waller, Darian Mayberry, Anderson 4545, and Stronger King, among other people. There have been other subscribers, and I'm sorry your information is not available to me. Also, shout out to Big Jordan, just because I haven't seen your ass in a long time, and thank you for commenting. Big Jordan and all of the other people who have subscribed to the YouTube channel. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do so now. And tell everyone you know to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, Cubby Knoll at Cubby Knoll on Twitter. Andrew from Fantasy Aid at Fantasy Aid 1 on Twitter. We need subscribers. This YouTube partnership program is, to borrow a term from the President of the United States, covfefe. It's pretty fucked, if I'm being honest. I've got a lot of things to say about this. I got this email a couple nights ago, 2 nights ago now. YouTube partnership program. Ryan and I, when we started Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous, we started the YouTube channel. We've been doing this since 2015, 3 years now, basically. We've been YouTube partners, earning ad revenue since. Now we're talking beer money. Whoa! It's not like this luxury palace around me is funded by YouTube. This is an old garage I'm in, okay? But, beer money was kind of the aim of what we wanted to do with our YouTube channel, just drink and talk about fantasy sports. That's what we've accomplished, and thank you to all of you who've helped that. But the new YouTube partnership program announced Tuesday night was basically anybody minus 4,000 hours a year of view time or 1,000 subscribers is fucked out the window and can no longer earn ad revenue. The 4,000 hours of view time per year, that's easy to come by as far as I'm concerned. I get that just like mock drafting and hanging out with people and doing all that stuff, right? The 1,000 subscribers, though, being part of a niche community, which is fantasy sports, a growing niche, which I think Google and YouTube have overlooked. We'll get to that. This is not just for my channel, but for everybody else's channel out there who is sans 1,000 subscribers or the 4,000 hours of views, who puts a lot of time and effort into something, who puts their creative energy, their creative spirit, just anything original, any content, anything you have to say that's not just reposting somebody else's work or borrowing somebody else's something. I mean, you've worked hard for that. You've worked hard. You've scraped and clawed for every organic subscriber you've got. Andrew, have you not done that? I mean, I know you from Fantasy, right? You know how many subscribers you got? This isn't bragging or anything. It's not sexy, is it?
No, 223.
Okay. And I'm not talking any kind of excitement here. I've got almost now 780. So I now only need 220 subscribers. I'm getting close, right? But 1,000, we're not looking to make millions of dollars and like break the bank here. We just want to talk our fantasy sports the way we see it. Okay, we don't have the luxury of a financial backing. We don't have the luxury of any of these other things that a lot of these people have. Where like, okay, I had a bot or I used Fiverr or however you grow your channel. A lot of people do a lot of shady things or a lot of questionable things. That's not even what this is about. This new YouTube partnership program is supposedly designed to weed out, air quotes, bad actors on YouTube. So that would be people stealing other people's content, people.
Well, that would be you, Tom. You're a horrible actor. You need to sharpen up your acting skills, buddy.
Yeah, I do. All right, let's be honest. I'm better behind the camera than I am in front of the camera. I'm okay on mic. On camera, no. Acting skills minus. But I'm an okay director. I'm an okay content producer, and I'm a fairly okay content writer in that regard. But
we get what you mean. Not literally bad actor, but
right. But negative
the content that they don't prefer. They think it's bad, naughty, and it's not going to get us revenue.
Well, all right. So either it's unfit for public viewing, or too inflammatory, or violent, or sexual, or whatever. And then you've got ad. And again, we know the whole world's based on advertising and ad dollars, and everything's changing in the digital media age and everything. But bad actors here. We're talking about people like, some of the more high-profile cases that have happened in the last year. We've got some of YouTube's biggest names have been involved in, scandals. Now, I'll make those comments about whether or not I view him as a scandal in a moment. But, think about PewDiePie. He's probably the most known YouTuber, collected the most money. South Park's talked about him. He's a big deal, right? Started as a gaming channel. Now he had all this stuff going on in the world, right? And what did he wanted to do? He wanted to go out there and see just how ridiculous the system of Fiverr was. How extreme of a thing is somebody willing to do for $5? So he paid some dude in India, essentially, or a couple guys in India. Now I'm not an expert here. I'm an addict. The story, as I understand it, is that he paid Fiverr, which is a company based in India, pays somebody $5, and they'll help you build your website or call your girlfriend for you or whatever it is. Just anything. You give them $5 and they'll do this. He wanted to see how far somebody would go. So for his YouTube channel, he paid a guy $5 to go stand somewhere in the desert or something with a sign, something about Jews. So something anti-Semitic. Now, PewDiePie and probably anybody who might just be willing to see what someone's willing to do for $5 generally isn't let's be anti-Semitic for $5. It's just sort of a sociological experiment. Now you got the anti-Semitic thing and it's times and everybody, you can't say things you can't do. So you can't do that. All right, we get that. Okay, you crossed the line. Slap in the fucking teeth, slap in the face, slap on the wrist, whatever.
There's a line. You do not cross.
You do not cross, dude. Across this line, you do not. So PewDiePie, okay, all right. Nice idea, trying to see what somebody's going to do for $5. In my world, maybe not the worst thing ever. No criminal, horrible intent, no hatred, no hating intent. The next thing we got, the most recent thing we got, the Logan Paul guy. We can't think of it. We talked before we did the podcast. This Logan Paul with his, I was in the suicide forest, I believe, in Japan. And, well, it's where everybody goes to kill themselves, and there's horror movies made about it, and hauntings, and I think Ghost Adventures has done an episode on the Travel Channel. It's not unknown to anybody. So he goes there, and he's just like, oh, I'm a guy from YouTube. I'm 20 years old. I'm just dicking around. Oh, my Christ, the corpse. Whoa, what? Whoa, a dead body. Well, we are in the suicide forest. I don't believe in the video we saw him dragging a corpse out of the trunk of his car to plant in the woods. And so he didn't murder anybody and bury him in the forest or plant him in the forest. He's in the suicide forest and found a body.
This is like Stand By Me all over again.
Right. Yes. Right. Yes, it is. It's like Stand By Me, except now it's politically incorrect to, like, I guess, poke a corpse with a stick or something and post a video on the internet. Like, all right, yes, the family of the deceased, sad news, your person died. But obviously, they didn't love you. They're in the woods dead, probably because of you. So don't raise a fucking fuss about some kid who fucking found him accidentally, is probably now himself, even though he's a YouTube star, scarred for life. Anyways, so he's kicked off of YouTube. We got that. The bad actors they're really talking about are the people they can't beat, though. These are the people they can't kick off YouTube because they keep popping up because they're not people. These are the bots. These are all of the videos that can get past all the filters and all this stuff going on, that they've got algorithms and Google stuff and YouTube stuff and woo-hoo. The mystery of the internet we don't understand, and I'm not even going to try to understand. It's bots and weird people that understand shit that I don't understand, making videos that are supposedly aimed at kids that are generally terrifying to your children. And even if they're not terrifying to your children and your kid's watching this, your kid's going to be fucked up after they watch it. We're talking about, like, oh, look, it's safe. It's Spider-Man and Hulk and the princesses from Frozen and Disney and stuff. And weird CGI violence and crying and baby rape and, like, I'm not kidding, weird, incestuous, sexual, violent, fucked up shit that they're not necessarily marketing at kids, but gets lumped in as kids' videos. So here's what YouTube's going to do about it. We're going to get a little tighter on our partner program, our community of creators. So we can have somebody who's sitting at a desk like this going through every video manually. I'm a guy on work for Google. Is this video safe for our advertising? Is it too creepy for your kids? Okay. Seems good, right? Like, no algorithm is now going to fuck me out the window for a video I posted. Okay. It's got the power. Somebody's going to have some common sense. Wait a minute. That raises its own issues. We'll go to that in a minute.
Now, did I hear this right? Did they hire or plan to hire 10,000 people to do this job?
I don't know if that's correct, James, but that is one of the things I've seen. So they are going to, theoretically, from what I've seen, they are going to hire people. No, that's great. In this economy, we got the thriving Trump economy. Dow, blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay, so we can afford to hire more workers. Okay, so, like, somebody actually has a job. They sit at, but that means Joe Schmo, who I don't know, is now, like, it's up to him. It's his opinion.
I mean, yeah.
So we'll go to that in a minute.
One person, yeah,
right?
So
like,
subjective.
It is, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Now, in theory, though, I see it. Like, I have a kid. James, you have a kid. I don't want my kids seeing stuff like that. I know as kids get older, there are things you can't prevent them from getting into. I mean, I was 12 the first time I ever, maybe I was 11. I don't even know. The first time I ever found web crawler when the internet was in its infancy, when I was a kid. First search I ever did on web crawler, I typed in the word girls because I wanted to see some hoo-ha, some chi-chis, some atas, like, woo. That's natural. That's kids finding stuff on their own. That's not like weird, twisted stuff on YouTube for kids that are basically infants who are watching it on an iPad because their parents are too busy not paying attention. I mean, honestly, what it boils down to in my mind is this is an issue about parental responsibility, but that's a topic for another day. But so to keep everybody safer, Google's going to hire people maybe or have people watch these videos. In theory, great. The kids are safer. Everything's good. Great. Grand. Wonderful. But to do that, what do we got to do? We got to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Who's the baby? Guys like me. Guys like you, Andrew, from Fantasy Aid. Mm-hmm. We've been working. I remember just shortly after Ryan and I first started doing our first videos, you were on the internet shortly thereafter. And we're like, who's this kid? And we're like, well, that's his first video. But we're like, you know what? Keep going, dude. That's good. We're all in a community here. We're all kind of starting out on YouTube. Let's support each other. Let's promote each other. And we've been friends since. And what's happening here? Again, the babies, guys like us that have been biding our time, putting in our efforts, putting in our work. We're not the big YouTube celebrities that are out there, but we're part of a niche. We provide fantasy sports information. We talk about the realities of being in a fantasy sports league, whatever it happens to be, player profiles. James, you talk about the Seminoles, the Florida State Seminoles. You talk about the Cubs.
Chop, chop.
And think about all the other YouTube channels that are out there that are maybe not sports related, that are just like, a mom and her kid, and like, look what we built out of Play-Doh today, and like, look, like that are actually just sort of having a thing, that are contributing to a discussion, that are place of ideas that is the internet. Now you're throwing that baby out the bathwater so you can protect ad revenue for like maybe a very select few. Which again, what are the criteria? Okay, we said it's 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers, but like that happens if somebody reposts other people's videos overnight. Like I've been doing this organically for 3 years and I don't have 1,000 subscribers, which by the way, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and do the same for Cubby Knoll and Andrew from Fantasy Aid. But yes,
please do.
Niche content, independent producers, all of us are getting squeezed. Now, some of these larger channels, I know, Andrew, you've talked about this. You said you wanted to see some more of these large YouTube channels speak out against it because at one point they were small as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want to see happen here? I know you're close to your first cash out of ad revenue. Anybody who doesn't know how this works, and again, I don't know if you're supposed to not talk about it, but I don't really think it's that big of a secret. If all this is public information anyways, you just Google it, how much each YouTube channel's ever earned. The way Google pays out AdWords or ad revenue and YouTube revenue is you have to hit a threshold of like earning $100 and they'll put it in your bank account. And they pay out once a month every time you hit $100 essentially. So Andrew, you're close to your first $100 of finally earning ad revenue. You're a YouTube partner. You've worked hard for that. You've busted your ass, man.
3 off season.
All those player profiles and all those little podcasts and drafts. Now what's going to happen to your revenue? What's going to happen to your money that you've worked so hard to get?
Google gets it.
So Google gets it. Now, do you have any feelings about? I mean, how do you feel about that? Like you worked hard for that. Now,
yeah, I mean,
it's not you're not buying a house, but
no,
that's your $100.
Yeah, I mean, I started 3 off seasons ago, and if I was in it for the money, I would have quit a long time ago because I mean 3 years. But it's the money I earned. How many hours I spent researching players, making graphics, recording the videos, getting them uploaded, and to see it finally pay off just a little bit, and then just have Google rip that right from you.
Absolutely. Like they tore your incentive away is almost like what they did. I mean, so like, when you're starting out, you're doing it for beer money. You're doing it for like, just spending. Like, again, maybe I posted a website and I want to pay for that year's worth of internet hosting, $100, $50, whatever it is, like a little bit, I mean, again, nobody's got too much money that they're not going to like want something for the time they put into something.
Oh, for sure. I was going to say this is maybe a horrible analogy, but let's say you're a teenager that works, 5 hours a week and you get paid every 2 weeks and you've built up a whopping like 20 hours in a month and your paycheck after taxes is $80.
Right.
Well, I still want my $80 just because the work decided to set their pay limit at, you got to work at least 40 to get paid. No, the kid earned it,
Exactly.
Who cares if it's 100 or 1,000 or whatever?
Put in your time.
Just piggybacking on what you're saying, you should get paid for what you earn. I mean, that's nonsense.
Exactly. Now, all right. So, James, you have your channel's sort of in between mine and Andrew's and Fantasy Aid, right?
Yeah. So I'm very casual. It's just a hobby. But I haven't even monetized mine because I just don't care. But in a situation where I had accrued money at this point, you're damn right I'd be upset.
Right?
Or if I was close, like you are, just a couple hundred away, I'd be fighting to get that 1,000. But regardless of getting monetized, I did put in time. chatting about the Knowles and whatnot. But yeah, I'd want to get paid for that. I mean, technically, you, me, Andrew, we've entertained some people, even though it's on a small level. There's people that click. Maybe some didn't like it, but maybe some were entertained. Should get paid for that entertainment service.
Exactly. I mean, I guess my real question, I have 2 real questions about this. Well, 3. Let's call it 3. Just to sum up this whole YouTube experience about the partnership thing. Because all right, so the deadline for all this, as we will no longer accrue ad money, is February 20th. So we have 28 days essentially to pick up either 4,000. Well, in Andrew's case, you need 4,000 hours worth of views, which you may be close to, or 1,000 subscribers, which again, we have the few subscribers we have are very dedicated, and we thank them profusely. Prolific. I don't know. Fuck, whatever.
Yeah.
There's too many P's. I've been using P words. I got the alliteration. Look at the podcast. I use 6 P's in the title. Okay, I got P in my brain. Sorry, it's an alliteration thing. Anyways, what was
Praising.
it? Yes, praising. There's another one. Woo, P. That's the letter of the day. All right, so this podcast is brought to you by letter P today. But all the P's we've been given to the people who have subscribed and who have supported us, we do truly thank you. And we're not. You guys have been very dedicated and very loyal, and so to have that mean nothing to Google or YouTube is ridiculous. And we've worked very hard to gain that support. So the 3 questions I have are: 1, once we're fucked out the window; 2, well, 1, this is the one. Once we're fucked out the window, who's next? Are they going to bump it up in 6 months? Because they just changed the partnership program. Now, I've been a partner since 2015, but they just changed the partnership requirements, I believe, February 2017. So what, in 6 months they're going to change it again?
I imagine they probably would.
Now who's getting cut out? And now my follow-up question to that is, where's the money going? Is this money going to the highest earners in YouTube or Google?
Probably.
An advertiser buys a block of, say, $10,000. Maybe 60% of that goes to Google, YouTube, and again, I'm guessing here. This is all hypothetical. Don't quote me. I don't know. So maybe 60% of that $10,000, $6,000 goes to Google. The remaining $4,000 is then spread out based on weight of the channel of the ad earners, right? So we're left with the scraps. Google takes the most of it. Does squeezing out the bottom portion of those earners get the top few more money?
Yes.
And Google still gets their same amount? Or is Google just cutting off the bottom to skim that for themselves? Because as we know, I've talked about this in previous podcasts, the digital landscape is changing. We all know that Google and YouTube would like to get into the content distribution market, content creation department, much like Hulu or Netflix. They've got their YouTube Red and the series they're trying to promote. They rent movies.
No, I think it's definitely the former. I mean, there's a big YouTuber that I follow named Boogie2988. He's 3 or 4 million subscribers, right?
Jesus,
and then,
I can't imagine.
Yeah, and he's been on there, 10 years. Then he's very knowledgeable, obviously, on the ongoings with YouTube. And he mentioned, yes, I'm here for the smaller guy. Do I feel bad that since I'm one of the bigger YouTubers, I'm probably going to earn more because of this? Yes, I do. But it's, it's kind of catch 22 here. So yes, to answer your first question, the big video makers,
so they're going to profit higher.
They should profit more.
Okay, so that makes sense. That stands to reason then that everybody but us is now going to make money. That's lovely. I love that we've put in time on this. Hopefully, we get an alternative platform. Now, the third and most serious question that I have about this, and this is where I think I hope somebody else starts asking questions about this. I hope people on the news start asking questions about this, because I don't know if you guys saw the stuff last week, 2 weeks ago, about Google employees and even Twitter employees getting harassed by watchdog groups where they're trying to bust them and talk about how they decide what's acceptable content, what gets search priority. The people that decide this have biases. Now we're taking this open marketplace called the internet, and we're now turning it over to one person. One person in one room decides. There's no committee. I have no say. Somebody decides what my video is now, if it's worthy or if it's not, or whether or not it can even be on the internet. This raises censorship concerns beyond anything I've heard of about the whole net neutrality or anything, you know? Like, we talk about one person deciding, like, who's to say that, you know, all these videos of, say, just legal gun owners shooting guns on the internet is now no longer acceptable because some Silicon Valley, I don't believe in guns guy says all of you content creators can no longer post videos of guns. Or vice versa, all of you people who are for transgender bathrooms because I'm an asshole and think, well, you're a man or you're a woman and that's it. Like, again, what group of our society wants one person deciding for the rest of us? None. It's a fucking open society. We're living in a society here. And of all places, of all open societies, the internet is the most sacred and most open. There is no scenario in which one person should be dictating what's acceptable to the rest of us. I don't care if it's content safety, like, oh, YouTube's now Disney 2.0. I don't care if it's ad worthiness. If you are a company trying to advertise on the internet, you are in the Wild West. That's what the internet needs to be and should be, the Wild West. And it's a person's decision to sort out what's crap and what's not. It's a parent's decision to decide what my kid sees is safe or what's not. Not an algorithm, not Google, not one guy in a fucking room. That's what the First Amendment's for. And so I don't want any content I might post, good, bad, or indifferent, hate speech or otherwise. It's speech. We have a freedom of fucking speech in this country. It's my First Amendment. And Google, last time I checked, is still an American-based company. So please don't fuck with my First Amendment rights, Google. Don't fuck with other people. Don't cut out. Because we are. You've taken our carrot. The small guy, the little guy, our little carrot, our like beer money that we got off of YouTube, our incentive that Andrew said, like, it's my first building block. Now I can go buy some baseball cards and make some more videos. Whatever happens, you took our carrot and threw it to the fucking wind because we're probably the most creative. We're probably the most
even like
people, right?
Well, yeah, like even the guy Boogie2998, that's a $3-4 million subscriber dude. He was talking like, you know, these small channels that may not make a lot. He was like, look, don't discredit what they do make. When he started out, when I was coming up, the little money I had, like I think you mentioned this to me, Tom. Yeah. You can use it to help grow your channel. $100
website
might help you get
props.
A camera.
Yes,
you know, like this, like every little bit can help because you know. So he's like, yes, it matters. And this is a guy that makes a good living off YouTube, and he still sees it from, you know, another person's perspective. Like, yes, that could help someone, you know.
Well, and I appreciate
as small as the amount might be, you know. So
it's an incentive. It's like, all right, a little attaboy, a little pat on the back, right? Andrew, you could have used that, and now it's ripped away. Like, what reason do you have to even post another video at this point for Google to earn ad revenue on? Like, none.
Exactly. It's not like there's still going to be ads on our videos, but we're not going to get any of it. It's just basically cutting the content creator out.
Yeah, you're completely just, boop, that's it for you, and everybody else except you is now profiting on your hard work. So there's now no incentive for independent content and creative content beyond just, I guess, reposting other people's shit. And like, I guess, James, are you doing an ASMR video? Are you doing some?
No, sorry. Is that too loud? Is that too loud?
No, I guess. I mean, again, I'm gonna have to start making hours of videos of just like ASMR stupidity, I guess, to make money now on the internet. Yeah. You know, did you set your lineups today? I'm clicking on my mouse. It's a purple.
I could get it.
It's a purple Logitech mouse. I use it to set my lineups on Fantrax. Yeah. See, I mean, come on. I mean, like, that's not how I'm going to earn my YouTube revenue. So, I mean, I don't know. We need to find an alternative platform. Or Google's got to pull it out of their head, pull their head out of their ass. Or one last ditch effort right here for me. Please tell everyone you know to subscribe to Fantasy Sports Addicts Anonymous. Hit the subscribe button, tweet it, spam it. Please subscribe not only to my channel, but for Andrew at Fantasy Aid and James Cubby Knoll. You guys aren't going to get your 1,000, but if we hit it hard, maybe. We got to try. We got to try, goddammit.
We definitely got
I got time to bleed.
No, definitely got to try. But I don't think we covered this. I think we spoke about it off air, so to speak.
Oh.
How come YouTube and Google and their great wisdom isn't doing what they ought to do, which is grandfather people into this thing?
That's a really important question. I haven't seen anything about that. I mean, Andrew, I don't know when you became a air quotes YouTube or Google partner, but I mean, again, I would assume it's been a couple years.
Yep, 2016.
Yeah, so I mean, we put our time in. We've been earning them money. Like,
at least do that. I mean, if there's a guy that starts a channel today, it's like, or it starts a channel after 28 days from now, like, sorry, bud. This is like, a new setup. But all you guys before, you guys are good. You guys are, grandfathered in. This is not a new term here.
Well, that's why I want to show them I'm hungry. I see your challenge, and I'm gonna best it. God damn it! Everybody subscribe. I only need 200 more. I need 200 subscribers in less than 30 days. We can do it. Woo! All right, that's enough.
Right?
That's enough YouTube bitching and moaning and complaining. There's gonna be more for other stuff, but again, please check out the last video. Send it to everybody you know. Get us some subscribers. We need them. But the follow-up, the real meat of this podcast, because this is what we've been itching to talk about for weeks now. Finally, I mean, we get a little teeny bit of baseball hot stove action that has fantasy impact, right? We finally get and we thought it would light it up, get it going, the whole market. It still hasn't. I mean, this is like almost a week old now, right? The Gerrit Cole and Andrew McCutchen trades.
Yeah, a few days, yeah.
I mean, it's been out there. Obviously, Gerrit Cole, potential ace, or what was formerly thought to be the ace of the Pirates. Going to the Houston Astros. And Andrew McCutchen going to San Francisco, another old man. Going to San Francisco. San Francisco, they got that. That's a 2012. That's a 2012 team, isn't it? Or a 2007 call-up team.
I was about to say, they're going to win the 2013 World Series this year.
Yeah. All right, we got our Kutch. We got our Longoria.
We got Longo. We got Percy.
Yeah. Oh, we're right in there. We're old and dirty with Cueto, and I mean Shark, I guess, was around then.
Okay, so is that Cole, Kutch, and who are the other little pieces?
Okay, well, all right. So, God, I actually, you know what? I don't even know what else the Pirates sent out. I wasn't really.
You had Moran,
or
Moran.
Cole and Moran.
All right, Moran.
You had Feliz,
right?
Who's a pitcher, and then who else, Andrew?
Yeah.
I think it was at least three,
yeah,
maybe
three
four.
guys. I know Moran, the third baseman,
and Feliz, the pitcher. Who? Hey, by the way, Feliz, if you're in a deep league, it could be a bullpen arm for you.
Could be. Could be. But we've got.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Forget the other guys. We at least know those two. Those are probably the two biggest.
Well, all right. So that's the complaint, is that you can forget those other guys. Outside of Colin Moran, there isn't much, and maybe there's not much headlining what goes back to Pittsburgh. I mean, these are all younger, like fringy, like deeper. If I'm a Pirates fan, I'm pissed.
So some people
think about what the returns were last year for someone like Adam Eaton, and then look at this year.
Yeah,
I mean, they got the farm. People, teams got the farm for Adam Eaton.
Yeah,
what'd they get? And Adam Eaton, was it Raylo and
White Sox got Giolito and Ronaldo Lopez? And
was it both of those two? Okay, yeah,
Ronaldo Lopez.
Who at the time they were, top 5 pitching prospects,
Well, and I mean, so you got potentially like a 1 and a 2 for your rotation for like a really not proven center fielder with some sort of not demonstrated speed.
Yeah.
That was last year with the White Sox. But see, again, that was the Nationals willing to, break eggs to make an omelet, so to speak.
Yeah.
But see,
go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was going to say Houston didn't have – all right, to get Gerrit Cole, Houston, again, with a relatively nice pitching rotation and an awesome team, period.
Mm-hmm.
Good bullpen, lots of depth everywhere, even pieces in the system. They've got –
now they're 5 deep.
They've got stuff to – well, yeah, they've got stuff to spend, but they get Gerrit Cole as their third starter. This is a guy who's primed for his – he's 27. He's primed for his breakout season. This is it. This is the Gerrit Cole year where finally, hopefully, maybe the control and the just strike somebody out occasionally.
Well, let's start. We'll talk about Cole and a little bit about, I guess, the other big, Moran, I guess, is the only other guy worth mentioning. But let's start with Cole. Okay, return is, you don't recognize the names. But, I've noticed some obvious observations, which is Cole is somewhere, as far as ERA goes, is ranked like beyond 50 in ERA the past 2 seasons. So maybe, despite his potential, which has been there, and he had that one good year, maybe we're overestimating what they should have got back. A guy that's ranked in the 50s in ERA the past 2 years, I mean, what are you really expecting, guys? Not like you guys, but in general.
Well,
you know what I mean? So maybe they should have got back more because of his pedigree potential. But as far as production the last couple seasons, he's been nothing more than, pretty average, an ERA over 4.
If you had told me however many years ago it was when...
Now, I know he always has a good FIP that says he should be doing better.
Yeah.
For some reason, he's not.
Well, and I don't know what that is. I mean, again, a guy who can regularly hit 100 miles an hour should get more strikeouts than that. I don't know what the deal is with Cole. I think part of it's motivation and that's what I'll talk about.
Well, some may guess that, as you guys already know, like it's more hitters are catching up to higher velocity, fastballs.
Right.
Okay.
It's still a fastball. They can just swing the bat harder and faster.
And Houston, to my knowledge, will probably encourage the breaking ball a little more. You can guarantee Gerrit Cole is going to throw more sliders this year. Mark it down.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And then I guess the other thing I would say that maybe giving him trouble is I watched a lot of his starts last year because I owned him on one team, and fuck me for making that trade for him. But anyways.
I forgot about that.
I watched a lot of starts like you do. And the Pittsburgh announcers, the home announcers, would always question maybe part of the problem. A small part is he would not challenge hitters.
No.
Constantly, he's trying to paint the outside with a fastball.
Yep.
It's like you throw nearly 100, get these guys off the plate.
He's nibbling always.
For a short stretch where he rebounded and did better, he started to do that and kind of saw the results. It got guys off the plate, then you nail them with the breaking ball away. But it's like use the heat, like don't stop trying to get the outside because hitters are just going to lean. They're not going to be afraid of it.
Yeah.
So maybe if he starts being a little more aggressive with the fastball in the zone a little more, or maybe just up in the zone, like you can blow these guys away. Stop nibbling low and away and making it easier on them to just put the ball out there and flick 96 in the right field.
Right.
And I think Houston will make them throw more breaking balls. All right, that's my Cole rant. I'm off the Cole train.
No, I was going to say, as far as my Cole train is, like, you know me, I'm a dynasty owner. I got a lot of Cole investment, like a lot of Gerrit Cole. I mean, if you had told me years ago that UCLA 1 and 2 of Bauer and Cole at this point in their careers would not be aces of respected teams. And you can even make the argument. There were co-aces of UCLA. Like, there were a lot of arguments. Who's better, Gerrit Cole and Trevor Bauer? They were both really good when they were in college. One was Friday night, one was Saturday night. Either night, the UCLA Bruins, they're going to win. It's almost weird that Bauer now almost seems like he's surpassed Cole. I do hope I hope this is the year for both of them. I really do. I really hope this is the year for both of them. But I'm most excited about Cole going to the Astros in the sense that he clearly did not want to be in Pittsburgh. Something was up there. And the way he was just like, all right, so he's got friends in Houston or something. The way they reacted to him coming there. I mean, again, they already won the World Series, but you get that number 3 who's really could be a number 1 or a number 2. that rotation is so deep, so stacked. But like his excitement, not just like because I'm going to a good team, but his personal excitement for being there. I think maybe it's a coaching thing, maybe it's a location thing. But
I think it's an ownership thing.
Yes, I'd rather be part of a better team
that's going to pour and invest. Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. They'll occasionally have their little window. The budget will raise a little bit, but as soon as that window's gone, the budget's fallen. And Andrew, I guess we should maybe highlight this real quick to pivot.
Right.
Is how is Cole's environment, like the new park, the differences? We know the lineup, but if you want to comment on, the ballpark and maybe anything else.
Is the park going to be a major factor here?
I don't expect the park to be a major factor. I mean, there are a couple hitter-friendly parks in that division, but not really too bad. I mean, you got the Crawford boxes, obviously, and the pretty deep outfield. But he gets to pitch in Oakland Coliseum. He gets to pitch in Seattle. Yep. I don't see too big of a difference in park factors.
Okay, now some people think maybe his K rate goes up a little bit because of the Minute Maid. Now, I don't know how that works exactly. Like, I think park factors is not like infallible. I mean, obviously, part of the park factors is the players playing in it, right? Like, so it's so weird to me when it's like, well, he should see an uptick in 6% in K rate.
Sure. Well, all right. I will say this: the division he plays in,
there's a lot of swing and miss.
There's a lot of swing and miss. There's a lot. There's a lot of swing and miss. So I will, you always talk about, okay, well, now there's 2 extra outs that aren't a sort of guarantee because he's pitching in the American League, right? He's got to face the DH, and so that you add to the ERA accordingly. I'm gonna say my big thing about Gerrit Cole, and I'm calling this is his breakout year. And if he doesn't, he doesn't. But I'm calling this being the year. 1, main reason, motivation, and 2, like you were saying, the strikeouts going up. He's in a swing and miss division. Plus, if he gets that breaking pitch working off the plate. So this is why and just the motive. Honestly, baseball's such a mental game. I really think this is the year where Cole's just like, bam. And even in a lot of ways, right? You held your fingers, you crossed your fingers for Bauer the other day, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, same sort of scenario. Andrew, am I wrong? Like, I'm calling a breakout. Yeah. Am I crazy on that?
No, not at all. I mean, he's always had that potential. You just got to show it.
Well, we've thought we've seen it though, and that's going back 4 years now that I thought I was seeing it. But this, and that, again, this is pitching develops slower in terms of prospects. Bronson, pay attention to that. Yeah. Well, I got all my prospects. Well, this guy's now 5 years past the prospect stage at least.
Yeah,
maybe it's his breakout year.
To piggyback maybe one last thing on Cole and the environment, like you mentioned, swing and miss in the division. Texas and Oakland were ranked number 2 and number 3 in the AL in team batting strikeouts.
Okay.
So 2 of the top 3 teams that strike out the most in that league are in his division.
Yeah, the one team that doesn't strike out in the division is the Astros. So
and he's on them. So there you go. You heard it here. Gerrit Cole, sleeper. Get him. One other piece, I guess the main thing you're going to really want to keep track of outside of that this year, we mentioned the big piece, the headliner, which is really a weak-ass headliner, Colin Moran, former top-ish prospect, third base for the Astros. Kind of a mixed bag, mostly a hitter, like a pure hitter, guy who could hit 280, 300, knows how to walk, not a major – I don't think he's a major strikeout issue.
No, he's not. I think he can be around league average.
Yeah, so like 20, 25 home runs, especially in the elevated ball situation. Yeah, and I mean, going to a bad team, Pittsburgh, but his competition's David Freese. And if you're going to beat David Freese out of spring, I mean, David Freese is my age. Now, I've seen the guy in like up close and personal. Like, the man's gigantic, but he's 35. I'm sorry. Like, when you're 35, you're 35.
I'm 35.
Right. So am I. And I know what 35 feels like. Colin Moran, though, like, this guy he was sort of blocked, got sort of unblocked, and then got reblocked, just like AJ Reed in Houston did. But Moran was buried now and in the future. And it was kind of a throwaway piece. I'm actually sort of surprised that Pittsburgh didn't ask for AJ Reed in that. Just to get Reed and Moran and then move Bell to the outfield or something. But
yeah,
that was probably a fielding issue.
Yeah, I don't see Bell chasing too many balls in the outfield.
No, probably not. But
he seems like he's pushing maximum density right now.
Maximum density. No, but yeah, not a massive haul, not a massive return. A lot of the Pittsburgh Pirates fans we've talked to, like our friend Melinda from the home dynasty leagues, not happy. She was so crestfallen when they traded McCutchen, of course, for
I'm sure, yeah,
peanuts. Literally, did anything good come out of the McCutchen thing at all? Did Pittsburgh get? Do you guys have any?
I think Feliz could be
yeah.
a really, really good bullpen arm. I really do. And with Moran, I'm just calling Moron for fun. But Moran, I noticed in a recent in a Fangraphs article that he's kind of gone under the Houston's philosophy of the fly ball, which is pretty much everyone's philosophy seemingly these days. And in the past few years, he's dramatically reduced his ground ball rate. At one point a few years ago, it was over 50%, which is horrible. You got to hit the ball in the air to hit a home run, right? Well, he's decreased that, and last year his ground ball rate was really low. It was 33%.
Okay,
making his fly ball rate way the hell higher. And how he did that was he used to have an open stance, and now he's closed it and brought his hands in closer. And he's turning on it, and he's getting more loft on it, and he's getting more power. That's why the power showed up again last year.
A little juicier.
Yeah, he changed his stance, in his way, his approach. So he could be a guy that maybe you take a flyer on and hope the fly ball rate approach pays off.
I have seen this guy in action. He's a guy I've had on my teams in the past. We've had samples. We've been on the roller coaster. I'm saying absolutely target him in late rounds. The hype's going to get out. The noise is going to get out. Colin Moran, power, decent production.
Yeah, if
you're looking for speed, but late.
If you're in a 16-team plus league, or your league goes beyond pick 400, or pick them right around there.
Dude, I'm still stashing him even in 12-team. I'll still take a flyer.
Pretty deep.
I'll still take a flyer. I'll still take a flyer. That's, you know who would back me up on that probably is Reverend Nate, dog. If we had Nathan in here, I think Nathan was in on the Moran hype a minute ago. Again, this goes way back. That's how buried of a prospect he was. Former prospect.
Yeah, I know. I think Dynasty might grab him earlier. But I'm saying redraft, you wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you're coming up. You're in a long, deep redraft.
I'm about pick 350, and I see him there. I'm waiting.
About time. If you ask me, you don't want to miss the boat. Don't miss the boat.
I'm waiting.
So what do we got coming up? I got to crank out a lot of videos.
One last thing. Sorry. Sorry. Think about it. It has to do with his trade. Austin Meadows, theoretically, been a great prospect forever, it seems like, but still just 23, always injured. Should have a clear path. He's only got to fight some guy named Loop now, or Looplo, whatever the fuck his name is. So, looking for a prospect that contribute this year. Meadows ought to. Steamer already has his projections out for 120, 30 games. So Meadows should be relevant this year in deeper leagues. Always dynasty, but yeah.
Meadows is finally. I feel like he's lost the luster. I've shied away now. I'm not. I guess I'll have to go back and look and convince myself.
I traded for him in a tank move last year as a part of a package, and this will hurt his value if I try to move him again, but I'll just say it. I'm worried too. Apparently he's changed his approach, and not for the better.
Oh, that's really,
because now he's using his lower half less, which, less torque, less power. So I don't want this guy that already had middling power to have less, but the approach isn't good.
Well, I don't know about you, Andrew, but that sounds like a real confidence booster, a real draft day.
I'm just saying deep leagues, leagues, and you're just looking for starters.
Yeah, you just stashing an Austin Meadows up your butt crack.
Yeah,
hopefully the cops don't look there.
I need a fifth outfielder in a 20-team league if you're one of those degenerates that plays in leagues like that.
Well, we all are. We're addicts, not experts.
Yeah.
Thank you, addicts, for not being experts. We love all of our addicts. And speaking of experts, we got the industry invitational invites coming out this weekend, right? That's with what's his name?
Justin Mason. Yeah.
Justin Mason. Okay, so look for that. That's going to be on Fantrax. Hopefully you signed up for his fantasy invitational, the fantasy baseball invitational. If you didn't, look for Justin Mason on Twitter and look for his invites. It's probably too late. We're in. The three of us are in, so we're happy about that. We're going to represent for the addicts and, beat up on a few experts and writers, and that'll be good. Andrew, Fantasy Aid, since you're about to lose your ad revenue and YouTube and Google are about to just kind of like stick it in you dry, what do you got? You got anything to say? Any closing comments or any plans for the YouTube channel? Or are you going to shy away and stick to articles? What's the future hold from Andrew from Fantasy Aid?
I mean, I'm going to continue creating videos because obviously I didn't start to make money, and even without it, I still enjoy it. But I don't think I'll invest as much time as I used to into it because, as you said, the incentive is gone.
They took your carrot. They took your job and they took your carrot. They took our job. All right. So do you have any upcoming videos or articles you want to promote for six-man rotation or anything? Or
I got fantasy rankings up already for everywhere but outfield, starting pitching, closers. Closers should be up later today. I've already been working on that.
Okay.
And then again, I'll probably be doing rankings for six-man rotation as it gets closer to spring training.
Excellent. Cubby, you got anything?
Yep.
Any words?
Any irons in the fire?
Yeah,
as far as
you got the article. You got your beautiful Luis Gohara article on Fantasy Sports Addicts.com. Yeah.
Right now, no, I will still create like Andrew. It's a hobby. I enjoy it. So I'll still randomly rant about the Seminoles like a maniac.
Right.
As far as fantasy baseball content, I'm trying to get worked out something with a kind of a brand new site called nowroto.com.
Okay.
The guy created it, used to write for fantasy pros and fake teams. Seems like a good guy, so hopefully we can get a relationship works out and I can start writing for them. And I'll probably just write stuff like player and hitter profiles, just real simple, try and make it entertaining, funny, and informative. So, but I'll start pumping out some stuff.
Okay. Well, definitely good luck with that. I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, I mean, again, it sounds like a pretty good thing. That Now Roto, right, is what you said it was.
Yeah. Well, he seems like an against the industry type guy. He wrote for it for those fantasy pros and fake teams, and like a lot of fantasy writers, it's a side gig. It's a side hustle.
Okay.
And so some of these companies or websites would still ask too much. And he just goes, you know what? I got a career. I got a family. I'm going to start my own site.
Okay. Well,
and when I recruit writers, I'm going to be Mr. Cool Guy. I'm going to be like,
reasonable.
Hey,
yeah,
give me what you can give me,
All right.
There's no quotas here. There's no, strict rules.
Okay. Well, he sounds like a nice guy, and
but that's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like he can afford to pay, which I can't. So if you want to write for free and have a place where there's no quotas, or you can say whatever you want and no restrictions, FantasySportsAddicts.com. But I can't pay you because there's no way to monetize. Thank you to Google.
So subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, please. Tell everyone you know to subscribe, and then write for FantasySportsAddicts.com for free because we're trying to survive here. God damn it. Let's put the lights on for everybody. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's my 2018. That's my campaign promise. I'm going to make fantasy sports great again. Yeah, wait, I don't know. I'll have to figure out the letters, and I'll give Fantasy Jesus a make fantasy sports great again hat. That'll look real. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get a make fantasy great again. Amafa. Make F. I don't know. Fuck, I'm stupid. I can't do letters and things. Okay?
You need a cup of coffee.
I need another cup of coffee. I got to crank out a lot of videos here to generate subscribers. So please, again, if you're pissed about this YouTube partnership program thing, tell everyone you know, subscribe to the channel. And I appreciate everybody who has subscribed. And thank you to all of our addicts who've been longtime subscribers. I'm not giving up the channel anytime goddamn soon. They're going to have to rip it from a cold dead hands, but I'm going to make a lot of noise until then.
Yeah, buddy.
Just to reiterate, fuck you, YouTube. Fuck you, ad revenue. And oh yeah, do subscribe and spam the shit out of it. Our website's fantasysportsaddicts.com. I'm going to start cranking out some videos again because I got 28 days. Might as well hit it hard. Look for that. Forgive me if I overpost. Yeah, fantasysportsaddicts.com. We got to get another mock draft coming up here. I think, yeah, I heard the word auction. You hear that?
Ooh.
I mean, we are in 2 slow drafts. We got another slow draft starting. But there's never anything. There's no such thing as too many drafts, right? We're addicts, not experts.
That's correct.
All right, let's close with the Fantasy Sports Serenity Prayer. You guys got anything else you want to wrap up with, or?
Yahoo. Me and you, Tom, were talking about it. Should be opening within the next 2 weeks maximum. All right.
Rumor on Reddit. Yahoo Fantasy Baseball opens January 25th. Look for that.
Which is a week, which is awesome. So you Dynasty and Keeper people that are just itching, maybe a week from today, you can get on in there.
We'll still be on Fantrax in the interim, and we'll probably abuse Fantrax like the dirty little horse she is. But yeah, when Yahoo opens, we'll treat her gently. She's like a little flower, little Yahoo flower. Oh yeah, she's an angel, but I want to mock all over her face. Yeah. All right. Fantasy Sports Serenity Prayer. Fantasy gods, please grant me the serenity to set my ideal lineup, courage to add drop aggressively, and the wisdom, as always, make good trades. Amen. FantasySportsAddicts.com is the website. I'm Tom. I'm on Twitter at letter F, letter S, word double, letter A, FSAA. Cubby, where are you at?
At Cubby Knoll, CUBBYNOLE. Cubby Knoll.
Okay, Andrew from Fantasy Aid, where are you?
At Fantasy Aid 1.
Okay. We all need subscribers, so tell your friends, hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, comment. If you have any questions about fantasy baseball coming up or your fantasy basketball season, please leave them down below. Again, subscribe. Thank you. We will see you next time. Everybody have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you when Yahoo opens.
Have a good day. If you want to.
Yeah!